One day I had a fever, like a really bad one. I could barely stand, and my manager still texted me, "Can you come in today?" I stared at my phone. I was shaking. I felt awful, and I still typed, "Yes, I'll be there." That's when I realized it wasn't strength. I was just too scared to say no. Here's the part I didn't want to admit back then. This wasn't a one-time thing. It was my life. It wasn't just that day. It wasn't just that fever. I did this for years. I showed up when I was exhausted, when I was sick, when I was empty. I said yes, even when every part of me was screaming no, and people loved me for it. They called me so reliable, easy to work with, a team player. My manager trusted me. Why? Because I never said no. I was always available, always flexible, always sure, no problem, even when it was a huge problem. But I never said that part out loud. That was my secret. On the outside, I looked strong. I looked disciplined, focused, driven. But inside, I was hollow. I was tired in a way sleep couldn't fix. I was tired of pretending, tired of being okay, tired of being fine, tired of being the guy who handles everything. I didn't even know what I wanted anymore, because I was too busy doing what everyone else wanted. I was a supporting character in my own life. And here's the scary part. I honestly thought this was all normal. I thought, this is just what adults do. This is what being responsible looks like. This is what success costs. So I paid the price. With my energy, my health, my peace. Every single yes added to the bill. But nobody tells you this one thing. If you never say no, people stop seeing your limits. Period. They stop asking. They start expecting. And eventually you become replaceable. Not respected, just useful. And that realization hurt a lot because I wasn't living my life. I was managing everyone else's expectations and calling it maturity. Here's the truth that took me a long time to understand. I wasn't saying yes because I was strong. I was saying yes because I was scared. Scared to disappoint people. Scared to be judged. Scared to be seen as difficult. Scared to lose my job. Scared to be alone. I didn't want to be that guy, the one people complain about, the one they stop inviting, the one they replace. So I hid, and I stayed quiet. Somewhere in my life, I learned this one rule: be easy, be helpful, don't cause problems, ever, be grateful, even when you're hurting. And I took that rule as law. I built my whole personality around it. I became the nice guy, the good worker, the reliable one. Not because that's who I was, but because that's who got approval, and approval became my oxygen, and approval felt like safety. When people liked me, I felt okay. When they needed me, I felt valuable. When they praised me, I felt real. But when they didn't, I felt invisible, like I didn't matter. So I kept chasing that feeling, desperately. Here's the real definition of people-pleasing. It's not kindness. It's a costume. It's a fear of being rejected. It's a fear of being alone. It's a fear of not being enough, unless you earn it. And nobody teaches you how to stop. I thought if I just tried harder, gave more, sacrificed more, then I could finally feel secure. I'd finally relax. I'd finally feel good enough. But it never happened. Ever. Because there is no finish line. The more you give, the more people just expect. The more you bend, the more they push. And one day you wake up and think, wait, who am I now? I didn't lose myself overnight. That's a lie. I lost myself slowly, bit by bit. Every time I stayed silent, every time I said yes, every time I ignored my own voice. Just one small choice at a time. One night, I couldn't sleep. My body was tired, but my mind wouldn't stop. I was lying in bed, phone in my hand, replying to messages, solving problems, still working, still helping, still showing up, even at midnight, and suddenly, I felt empty, not sad, not angry. Just empty. One night, and this thought came to me. If I keep living like this is my life forever. My chest got tight, not because I was scared of failing, but because I was scared of winning the wrong life. I whispered, I can't do this anymore. I didn't tell anyone. I didn't make a plan. But for the first time, I chose to listen to myself. And instead of asking, what will they think? I asked, what will happen to me if I don't stop? That question changed everything. After that night, I didn't wake up as a new person. I was still a nervous wreck, still unsure. My brain just wouldn't stop overthinking. But I knew one thing. I couldn't keep living like a robot anymore. So I started small, like really small. I didn't quit my job or move to a new country. I just changed the way I said yes. Step 1, I stopped answering right away. Before, I was the fastest replier in the world. Text, email, call. It didn't matter. My answer was always yes, yes, yes. So I set a simple rule for myself. When someone asked for a favor, I wouldn't answer right then and there. Instead, I'd say, let me check my schedule and get back to you. That tiny sentence gave me space. Space to breathe, space to think, and finally, space to choose. Step 2, I practiced the simple no. I had to face the scariest word in the dictionary. No. I stopped making up long excuses. I stopped telling fake stories to sound nice. I just said, I can't take that on right now. The first time, my voice was shaking and my palms were sweaty. My heart was beating out of my chest, but every time I said it, I felt a little bit stronger. Step 3. I learned to sit with the guilt. This was the hardest part. The guilt felt so heavy. I'd say no, and then I'd feel terrible. I felt like the bad guy, like I was being selfish or hurting someone's feelings. But then I started asking myself one simple question. Did I actually do something bad, or am I just protecting my peace? And most of the time, I hadn't done anything wrong at all. Step 4. I started choosing myself in small ways. I did it quietly, under the radar. I started leaving on time. I turned my phone on Do Not Disturb. I rested without making excuses. I just said, I need a break. No big drama, no loud announcements, just respect. And slowly, everything changed. People stopped pushing my buttons. I stopped feeling like I didn't matter. And for the first time ever, I felt like my life actually belonged to me. Life didn't suddenly turn into sunshine and rainbows. I still have bad days. I still overthink things sometimes. I'm human. But one big thing is different now. I'm not disappearing anymore. Before, I lived in reaction mode. If someone needed something, I'd jump to do it. If someone was upset, I immediately thought it was my fault. I was always on call, and I was always exhausted. Now, I take a second. I pause. I ask myself, do I actually want to do this? Or do I even have the energy for this? And sometimes the answer is just no. And you know what? That's perfectly okay. I don't apologize for resting anymore. I don't feel the need to explain my boundaries. I just respect them. To be honest, some people didn't like the new me. Some people even walked away. And yeah, At first, that really hurt, but I learned a huge lesson. Anyone who only liked me when I was useful didn't really care about me at all. They just liked what I could do for them. And then, something shifted inside of me. I finally started trusting myself, my own voice, my own choices. I stopped waiting for a thumbs up from everyone else. Today, I'm much calmer. I actually sleep through the night. I'm not putting on a show anymore. I'm not performing for anyone. I'm just living. And for the first time, I'm actually proud of myself. Not because I'm doing everything for everyone, but because I'm finally choosing me. So, if you're watching this right now, and you're always the one saying yes, the one who shows up for everyone else, the one carrying all the weight, this is for you. You're not weak, you're not selfish, and you are definitely not broken. You just learn to survive by making everyone else happy. But now, you're learning how to actually live. You don't have to flip your whole life upside down today. You don't have to burn bridges or become a cold person. Just start with one small thing. One honest no. One boundary. One moment where you choose you. Trust me, that's enough. If this story felt familiar, I want you to know you're not alone. And if you want more stories about healing, growing, and finding yourself again, hit that follow button. You know where to find me. See you soon.